We have news out of the House of Representatives. This is Trump getting hit with something that he definitely doesn't want to be dealing with again. And it is new articles of impeachment. Now, I know, I've gone back and forth many times. Is this something that's worth putting time into or not? Is it performative? Is it merely performative? Is it performative, but for a reason? And is it okay to pair performance with action? We're going to get to that. Representative Shri Thanadar introduced 7 articles of impeachment, citing obstruction of justice, bribery, corruption, straight up authoritarian overreach. It is not merely a symbolic gesture because these were introduced as privileged resolutions. This means Congress has to act. Within 2 days, Republicans have to either vote on it or go on record saying we're going to kill it. So I want to analyze this for what it is. I'm calling it like a temperature check. Hear me out and then please write to me and tell me what you think. This is an opportunity to put every single Democrat on record. No hiding. If you vote and get against impeachment now, are you putting politics over country? Because Trump is facing more scandals than ever. More recently, taking a $400 million plane from Qatar, but floating the suspension of habeas corpus while actively ignoring legal court orders and denying individuals entitled to due process, denying them that due process, threatening mass arrests of political enemies, still under investigation for everything under the sun. In his first 10 days, I found 3 impeachable actions by Donald Trump. It's now been about 110 days. But as soon as this was announced, we started hearing takes like, this is a stunt. We need real solutions. This makes us look like unhinged leftists. But you know what also made people look crazy? Not doing anything in 2016, in 2017, in 2018, while Trump blew through every norm. And a lot of people said, he's going to get bored. It's not going to be that bad. Now, you can't just do this sort of thing. Democrats need solutions. Now, there was a time when Democrats did run on, we have solutions for housing. We hear from some Democrats, here's how we should regulate AI. Here's how we should deal with the national budget. And there are solutions that are available. Voters in November chose the convicted felon with no functional ideas. Okay. So number one, I think it's important to stop pretending that the people who voted Trump are hungry for serious policy proposals, because if they were hungry for that, they never would have voted Trump in the first place. And I don't know that serious policy proposals from Democrats are going to be what turns it around. They want someone who punches. They want someone who breaks things and will wreck the system on their behalf. Another response to this impeachment article filing has been Democrats don't need to file for impeachment. Democrats need their own version of Project 2025. Now, that I think is a very risky and dangerous territory to get into, because Project 2025 is a plan to turn the U.S. into a Christian nationalist oligarchy run by tech billionaires over grievances around white people being treated poorly, Christians being treated poorly, men being treated poorly, etc. You can't really make a better version of Project 2025. You just have to fight Project 2025. So my view on this impeachment play is that while it's obviously not going to work at getting Trump convicted in the Senate and removed from office, not going to happen, I don't see these impeachment articles as merely a performative distraction. After Cory Booker did his 25-hour speech, many of you wrote in and said, David, this was just performative. And I said, well, it was performative. But to say it was merely performative, I think misses the point of the inspirational mechanism that it may include to get people involved in the political system and working for things. So the impeachment articles are performative, but I don't see them as merely performative. If Trump breaks the law and is worthy of being impeached, I believe it's the constitutional duty of the House of Representatives to decide, is that worthy of impeachment? I believe the answer is yes. If Trump violates the Constitution, denies people due process, threatens democracy, then you need to do your constitutional duty as a member of the House and say, I believe that these are impeachable offenses. Of course, it's not going to lead to a Senate conviction at the end of the rainbow. But I believe that the real mistake would be sitting around focus grouping some technocratic response to what Trump is doing while the country slides into authoritarianism. So we don't need a better version of Project 2025. We need a robust opposition in every form at every level right now. Impeachment articles, when the president has done something worthy of impeachment, I think they are a requirement of the duty that the House has in terms of oversight and its investigative powers. But it can't stop there. It's merely performative if it's all that Democrats do. And what I'm hoping for, and we're going to see very soon, what I'm expecting and believe that we are going to see, is that this is only part of it. So I do support it, not because I think it's going to remove Trump via conviction in the Senate, but because the House has a responsibility. If the president does something worthy of impeachment, you must file articles of impeachment. I see it as that simple. And so I'm glad it's being done, but I don't believe that it's going to be the sort of panacea that brings us everywhere that we necessarily need to be. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get the Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.